Hello, hello, hello. This is Shy. Welcome to the All Inclusive Podcast. Listen, it is 2024, and this is the first show of 2024. So I'm super duper excited about the show, but also about my guests. We're gonna start with a temperature check. So I'm gonna start with myself. Um, I'm always hot on show days. Like I'm always excited. I'm always ready. Like the topic is just something that's like always dear to my heart or something that I feel like will be impactful. So I'm hot, but I got a little. I want to say I'm more so hot going towards lukewarm. So yeah, that's my temperature check. So today I have two guests, two people who are real close to me, definitely special in their own way. But I definitely want to introduce them. First, I have Bree. Bree, my Monica. um, Bree, introduce yourself and tell me what your temperature check is.
Um, well, like you said, my name is Bree. Temperature check. I'm feeling all right. I've actually had a pretty stressful week at work.
Okay.
But today was not too bad, so I'm feeling a little bit better.
Yes, and it's the weekend.
It's the weekend. I got a busy weekend too, so but overall I'm feeling pretty good.
Okay, good, good, good. Devonay,
Hey.
temperature check.
Um. So I'm gonna say I'm lukewarm. Today has
Lukewarm, okay.
been woo, a whirlwind. A whirlwind. A little nervous to be here, but I'm feeling okay.
You feeling okay?
I'm feeling okay.
Good, good, good. So, the topic that we're going to be talking about is adults need safe spaces too. So, I could have chosen, well, not a whole lot of people, but from the people that I could have chosen a nice amount of people because I believe that my circle is not big, but it has quality. So I'm big on quality and not quantity.
Hello.
Uh, but the two people that I chose to be here, Bree and Devonay, I thank y'all for being here.
Thank you for having me, girl.
Y'all are like, y'all are two people who have met me early in my life, and I was just sitting here thinking about it because we've known each other like
Maybe over 20 years.
over 20
Ooh,
years.
we old.
Whoa. Speak for yourself, baby.
I will. I'm
Talk
old.
to you, young and tender.
Not young and tender.
Young
Falling
and
off the bone.
I like it.
Okay. And Bree, you and I have known each other for over 20 years.
Yes,
Okay.
it's been a
But
while.
this is the first day that you two have met.
Yep.
Yes.
And it's crazy because y'all are my safety nets. Well, a big part of my safety nets. So
Big.
when I think about adults needing safe spaces too, I really ravel in the fact that I do have two safety nets that I could go to, and no matter what the situation is, it's a non-judgmental environment. It's more like, give me details, what we gonna do,
Leave nothing out.
leave leave nothing out, okay? So when y'all think about safety nets, safety spaces as an adult, because we talk about safety spaces as far as children having a safe space to express themselves and everything, but as an adult, what does a safety space look like for you two?
For me, I would say it's when you feel free to be yourself and express yourself no matter what. You don't have to hide anything. You don't have to cover anything up. You don't have to code switch. You don't have to speak
Mm.
another language. You can just be your true, genuine self and know that whatever comes out of your mouth, like the person that's on the receiving end, they're going to receive it and receive it well. If you're looking for advice or feedback, they'll give that to you. If you just want to vent, then they'll just listen, but they'll
Mm.
also be an active listener. So,
Mm.
and I think that the other part is that you figure out who those people are.
Mm-hmm.
They don't just kind of like, hey, I'm safe space.
Right, right, right.
You kind of, it's kind of like trial and error sometimes, because sometimes you miss. Sometimes you share things with people and you thought that it
Ooh.
was a safe space, and then maybe the trust, you end up not being able to trust that person later. Maybe they betrayed your trust or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, okay, that was not a safe space, and that's okay. You move on. You learn that some things you can share with certain people, some things you can't.
Mm.
So it's definitely a learning process. So I have to say it's a huge compliment, and it's a lot of respect that you give when you say that we're your safety spaces, because that's a really big thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
is.
yeah. Devin,
Listen.
let me clear my throat.
Okay. When I think of a safe space, safety net, stuff like that. Oh, can you hear me now? When I think of safety spaces, my idea of one is I can be authentically me, whatever that looks like.
Mm.
The deep voice at 5 in the morning, the bad attitude, whatever it is, I can just be me. I don't have to, like you said, code switch or, put on the 8:30 to 4:30 office hours voice. None of that.
That's a
I can just be
Mm-hmm.
authentically Devonak, whatever that look like.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when you said something about betraying the trust, I'm like, girl, that um, sometimes we think something is safe or think someone or places are safe, and we have like the wool over our eyes where we
mm,
don't really, we're fooled in the moment, like, oh yeah, that's safe. You sharing all these different things with these people, but the truth is, your heart knows, regardless of what they telling you.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for saying that. I'm like a safe space for you because you already know you are one of my safe spaces because baby, it done been a journey, okay?
Right, 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 right. I feel like when I think about a safe space, it's like I'm saying like a lot today, but my nerves is like real bad right now.
Why, girl? It's like we on the phone.
No, it's not that. It's a lot happening in my life right now.
Yeah.
So like my nerves are like my mind is somewhere else, my heart is somewhere else.
mm,
It's at the same place, but it's somewhere else. Um, but and you guys know, ironically, I have that conversation with you too of what's happening,
mhm.
and it's happening swiftly.
Yep.
Um, but when I think of a safe space, I think of freedom, liberty. Like if I could give adjectives to what it feels like, uh, and I'm not a crier, but if I was to cry, it would have to be with someone that I feel safe with,
Yep.
because I grew up with the notion of crime makes you weak.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that I had to break to even cry, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now when I cry, it's like, even if it's tears of joy, it's like,
Okay.
yeah, like I see you as safety. I see you as somebody who is not gonna run around and be like, oh, we was on the phone or we was on FaceTime and she just broke out in tears. And it's like, mm, I, that's where the betrayal comes in at. Because vulnerability is the biggest word when you talk about safe spaces.
Yes,
Definitely.
ma'am.
And it's levels to vulnerability, right? So when I talk to you two, I'm vulnerable. I'm myself, and always.
Every time. Okay.
So it's like I feel overjoyed to have a safe space.
Yeah.
And you two are two of my safe spaces. I probably have like two more people that I could like go to. I'm square.
Okay. What shapes?
Yeah. That I can go to and be like, this is what's happening. And a lot of times, you hit on it, Bree. A lot of times, for me, I can speak for me, it's a pride thing when I'm going into a situation where I'm like, I shouldn't have made this dumb decision. I knew better. This, that, and the third. And then now I gotta go to my safe spaces and be vulnerable
Be like, "Look what I
about
did."
this is what I did, but I need y'all to hold this for me. Number one, I need y'all to hold this, and I need y'all to hold me accountable
Yes.
for it. Because when we talk about safe spaces for adults, it's not just about crying and being vulnerable emotionally, but holding each other accountable
That
for the decisions that we made and be like, listen, don't you deal with that nigga. Don't you deal with that chick
Woo.
again.
It's hot in
Don't
here.
deal with that situation again.
don't be in here telling all my business because I'm gonna be done in a minute.
That's not what we signed up for.
So no, I'm just,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like the level of accountability has to be there. And for
But
me,
people have to be willing to accept
yeah,
to be held accountable
yeah.
too. Because I found even in safe spaces,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they not necessarily ready for that accountability portion.
Mm.
And you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna leave you with this. When you're ready to receive it, you'll receive it.
Mm-hmm. You planting that seed. And it's crazy because you could plant the seed and then walk away from it.
Yep.
And they not no longer be in your safe space or you in their safe space. But they gonna remember,
And have that aha moment. Like,
yeah, be like, yeah,
ah,
yeah, yeah,
When the time is right.
yeah,
yeah,
When the time is right, they'll pick it up.
yep.
yeah,
They
yeah,
definitely will.
yeah, yeah. So besides me being your safe space, uh, how well let's talk about this. Let's talk about how we got to being safe spaces for each other. Okay? Because I talk to you about things, you talk to me about things,
Yeah.
you talk to me about things, I talk to you about things.
I honestly don't even know. You know, sometimes we have we have a friendship that's just evolved over the years.
Yes,
Great.
yes.
Like it just happened organically.
Because I go ghost.
Okay. And here I go. What's up?
Yeah.
I'ma pop up.
Yeah.
I'ma pop up and I'ma hello.
Like literally,
That's
I was going through
probably
my
honest.
Facebook messages today and I was like, it was a message and you sent it to me and was like, hey, I didn't know you was still alive.
Me?
Yeah. And it was years ago.
Ooh, child.
This was like, I'm going to just say one word, Popeyes.
Yep.
Okay?
Remembered.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So,
Okay.
and that's another thing. You can say one word
And you
and
just automatically
be like,
know.
oh, yeah.
Exactly what you mean.
Right?
Right.
So I was like, no, I'm alive. And you like, nah, something ain't right. It ain't
I can
right.
hear me now. Something going on. It's something.
When you know a person, you can
Yeah.
hear it in their voice when something's not okay.
It wasn't even the voice, it was the message.
Mm.
And I'm the friend you can call and be like, oh yeah, this the person name, find them. I'm that friend.
Mm.
Or give a brief description. I'm gonna find them. Y'all mind your business.
Heard.
But people say you can misconstrue messages, you can, but if you know somebody, you can also decipher what it is that they're trying to take, those nonverbal cues, and you're like,
Yes.
Reading between the lines. Yeah.
But if you are willing to read between the lines only, but some people people don't be caring like that, even though they, you know,
It's like that. Somebody asks you how you're doing, and you're like, "Oh man, things are going downhill.
Like, well, let's-
it's raining." They're like, "Oh, all right, well,
Right.
good to see
Yeah. Good to see you. Yeah.
Baby, that's a cry for help. You didn't hear that? I was
Right.
very clear when I said I am not doing well. I am not okay.
Yeah.
I'm choking on water. You know, I'm drowning.
Did we just
Save
We
me,
just
save me.
listen.
bro?
Listen.
All right, okay.
Listen.
Ooh, did I hit something?
Yep,
Yes.
Ooh,
Because
go
we were
ahead.
on the phone today
wildin'.
and I was like, God is in the mix
Yep,
of this
God doing
conversation.
something.
He doing something. We was like literally 4 hours ago.
Okay, okay.
And I was like,
You know what? I
God is
feel like I'm drowning. That's literally the words that she said.
mm-hmm.
Wow.
God, I see what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
That baby in the midst, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't mad at it.
Right. Wow. Um
When
so
you connected and don't know you connected, okay, come on.
because with right. Heat, right?
Ooh,
Heat.
Baby, I've been fasting and praying, right? And so, like, when I have
You
these
real
moments,
sensitive
yes.
to
So when I have these moments and stuff starts clicking, I'm like, "Ooh, all right, it's happening.
fake hot tea
This is
because
it."
mine a little warm. Okay.
yeah. Yeah. So I would say the same thing as far as our relationship. It just happened.
Yeah.
Like we've known each other
You know
for
what? I remember what it was. It was after that happened
mm-hmm.
with that shall who remain nameless,
Mm-hmm.
and having the conversation of what happened
Mm-hmm.
to our friendship in the midst of these 4 years,
Mm-hmm.
and we got to talking about everything, and it was like, oh, okay, I'm connecting the dots
Dots,
here,
yeah.
and then it just everything just spun right back around, and we went right back to where we were, and then now we here.
Now we're here. And you on an all inclusive podcast.
Okay, girl.
Let me tell you something. So and then I'm gonna get to you, right? And we going to have our aha moment, right? Um Devonay is like one of the top supporters of the All Inclusive podcast.
Okay.
When I mean, I don't even get to post it's All Inclusive Friday before I'm getting a tag. It's All Inclusive Friday. Where's the episode?
Period. Because I need to see it.
Right.
Accountable.
And then after she sees that episode, well, in the middle of it,
I'm going to pause it like, listen.
I get a text, baby, baby, not baby, baby, okay? Like, I'm thankful for the support because this is my baby.
Yes.
And I'm nurturing, I'm investing, I'm very strategic with how I move with the podcast. And to have someone take interest in your baby, it means a lot.
Yeah.
It's like it might not be a physical child that I've birthed, but I've birthed this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so that leads me to Bree, because with Bree, I was talking about the All Inclusive podcast. Actually, Bree is the person behind my name
Okay.
on the All Inclusive. Because it was like, we gotta come up with something that's like catchy but fits me and everything. Cause y'all think I'm like super social on here. I'm not. I am bashful. I am shy. I am literally what it's like. What the name says. I am shy.
Mm-hmm.
So for me to step outside of that, it got to be God, because any other time I don't want to talk in front of people. I don't want to interact with people, which is why the other day when I called you with that, you was like, "Do you think you ready?" Well, and I was like, "Well, God is speaking,
Mm-hmm.
so I gotta do what God is saying, right?" So Bree is behind the name Shy, and we've known each other. I was 10, you were 11.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
We played ball together. And then throughout the years, we seen each other.
Yeah.
And then we reconnected like college.
Yeah, college. Yeah.
College. We reconnected college, and we got stories for days, but we're not going to talk about that.
Soon as they say, remember that one time, turn the mic
Oh,
off.
Yeah.
wait a minute.
Turn the
Listen.
mic off. Turn the mic-
Right.
Good
So,
times though.
right. So, with the safe space that her and I have developed, we've done gone through some things.
Together.
Yeah, together. And I've definitely fucked up in our relationship and had to come back and apologize, not just in words, but by deed also. Because when you mess up with a good person, that's another part of safety. You gotta correct your wrong
Correct. With action.
with action. It's not just, oh, I'm sorry. It was like, and this was literally, she showed up to my grandfather's funeral and we were not on good terms. That's what I mean by
But
safety.
where else would she have been?
Mm.
That was good. Because you're right. Like, I didn't think twice about it. Nothing else mattered. Whatever we were going
That
through,
right there. Nothing else.
nothing
matters.
else mattered.
We'll deal with that later. We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
And I literally stepped outside and like had to hug her and be like, listen,
Thank you.
that's all I could say. We, like you said, we'll deal with that later.
Be like, oh, that hug was probably like, oh,
It
I'm
was-
not finished.
It was
What? Pitter pat, 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 pat,
That's all we
pat.
got time for right now.
Okay.
right.
Auntie don't want to make no scene, but
Sometimes your presence is all that you need. When you're that
Mm.
person, sometimes you don't have to have all the words. You don't have to have the gifts and all that. Sometimes literally just your presence alone, it speaks volumes to the
Correct.
person. And I think
Yeah.
that's what that moment was.
that.
Yeah. Whew.
Present.
Safety nets are two-way streets, man.
Hello.
Yeah. So
takes-
so with that being said, safety net's a two-way street. What makes me your safety person?
I think a big part of it is our foundation and our history.
Mhm.
It's like when you have that already going for yourself, it makes it so much easier because I don't have to retell my life story to say, oh, I have these traumas and this is who this person is. And you already know.
Mm-hmm.
So when I come like, girl, you see how she laughing? Because she know what that
That's
means.
exactly- That's exactly how she be. Okay.
Yes. Why are we living the same life?
Okay.
I feel like these relationships are like very parallel. There are lots of commonalities that I'm seeing between what you two have and what we have. That's really cool. But yeah, it's definitely a two-way street. And so when I'm being vulnerable and telling you something, you're being in the safe space and you're listening, but vice versa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like both people have to be vulnerable. Both people have to be active listeners. Both people have to respond when response is necessary and know when not to respond because you don't always got to say something.
Mm-hmm.
You don't always have to
Say
say
it one more
something.
time for the people in the back.
You don't.
Back door.
Hello.
And we could all be goofy together too.
Okay, because Auntie.
But my goofy side only comes out when I'm comfortable. Because most people see me and be like, you're intimidating. And I'll be like, how?
You just don't know me. That's all.
You're
I'm not
intimidating 'cause
comfortable
you're
with you
weak.
yet.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah. All right. So go ahead, Brie.
Oh, where was I?
Yeah. You were.
She keeps me on track. Also,
Yes, absolutely.
it's
Absolutely.
not my fault.
So you
We-
were talking about
Yes, keep her on track.
okay.
I
'cause
love this.
being it's a two-way street.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have to retell your life story and
Oh, why you're so easy to be?
Yep.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
because she
man.
was like girl, and when she say girl, you like yep.
Mm-hmm.
you know, and literally just things like that, like those little words. Those are like the openers. Those are the things that like, okay, I can get it out now. She knows what I'm about to give her. And another thing that's really important. Sometimes, even though that person is your safety space or your safety net, sometimes you have to make sure they're ready to receive.
Yes.
So you want to make sure you're not always just trauma dumping all the time. Like,
Yes.
guess what?
Um,
And this happened. Because she may be going through something. She may be having a terrible day.
Listen.
Something crazy may have happened in her life today. And it's not fair, even though you are my safe space, it's not fair for me to just be like, well,
Mhm.
these are all the problems and troubles that I have going on, and I need you to listen. I need you to be there for me. Sometimes, just like you know how you did a temperature check
Mhm.
beforehand, you got to check in like, hey, are you in a space to receive what I have? And I'm going to
Mhm.
let you know
That
it's
question
heavy.
is so
It's
important.
heavy.
So important.
That
That's
question is
consent.
important. Listen.
Consent is sexy.
That's a
Ooh,
mental
that's
consent. Whew. Mental consent is so important. Usually I get a text like, "You up?" And I straight be like, "Yep, let me
get my stuff
my
together.
let me FaceTime you cuz
Oh,
this is
you
this
text
is
to say you up?
Yep.
Here I go.
That's me. That's my cue.
Right
Oh,
at
you
the
just
same
jump right
time,
into
like,
it. Okay.
hmm,
listen, because it's just, I'm me. I just be, I don't know. My people know it's when I'm quiet. They be like, hello, ma'am, what's happening?
yeah, cuz the first week of this year, I said, "Oh, what the fuck is you doing?
Sorry.
What's
Uh-oh.
happening? What what is
We're not
going
talking
on?"
about that. That's not what this show is about, okay?
Right? What the fuck is you doing? Not drowning.
Listen, pineapples, hold on.
Listen,
When I got home, she was like, bitch,
Mm.
cause what? I was like, look, please, I done had a long week. I just want to go to sleep. Just want to go to sleep. Yeah, okay. I said, I promise I'm going to call you tomorrow.
and then I was like, with details,
Leave nothing out.
nothing out.
That baby propped that phone up like,
And play.
okay. And when I was finished, she was,
Is that right?
mm,
No judgment. However,
spicy.
You living through me.
Okay.
Okay.
Um,
Listen.
mm,
Wow.
y'all ain't hot?
Yeah, I am. Like I definitely am hot.
my water's too far away. So
Is
I'm just going through.
that in your bag?
It is.
Okay, let me
My
get
Mary
that.
Poppins bag. There's
Let me get
grapes in
that for
there. There's
you.
orange in there.
Mhm.
There's a squeezy in there. There's a
Shut your
granola
mom.
bar in there.
Okay, Squeezy.
Here you go.
Yeah.
This is the live show, so they know. Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah,
Okay.
they know what happens. A phone might ring. Your
Baby, this is
child may
water.
call and be like, "Mommy," who
I don't want
knows?
y'all to think I'm alcoholic enough, and baby, this is agua.
But so typically we have,
That's all right.
yeah, but
But I needed to have
yeah, a focus. Yeah, yeah,
this is
yeah,
a serious matter.
yeah. I definitely, I definitely wanted to go into wow. Um,
What was the question you was asking me? Because I forgot.
no, I was gonna go into something,
Okay,
right?
go ahead.
So when you and I were talking, we were talking about the drowning thing,
Yes.
right? And also and tied it into like pride,
Yes.
right? So kind of going back, I have a life change that's happening.
Yes.
And like I said, it's happened swiftly. So I called somebody who I didn't necessarily want to call, but they had the resources that I need. They had the resource that I needed to get something accomplished that I needed to get accomplished,
Are you
right?
talking about what we mentioned on the phone?
Yes, that one, right?
Mm.
So I took my pride to the side. I called the person, and they said they acted like they cared and acted like they had a solution, but in all actuality, they had suggestions.
That
And I was like, this is not the time for you to suggest
Hmm.
anybody else because I'm coming to you in
what
a
you mean?
vulnerable state
And you know how hard it was for me to have to come to you.
to you, particularly. So don't come with your suggestions. That's where discernment comes in at because you can't give me a suggestion and when I need a solution.
First of all, when she wasn't this calm when she said it to her, because I didn't come in. I was like, When your calm friend get loud, you be like,
Mm. Uh-oh.
I'm the calm friend.
you say, I not know what to do with that. You want to gum me or
Like,
something?
this you.
Like I got a cake or something. You alright?
You know what's crazy when you were telling the story? Like, you hit a point and like I felt in my body. And I was like, so what happened? And I was like, somebody wasn't there for you. Like, I feel, you how you get defensive of like your friends,
You ain't see
the
my eye
people that you
twitching?
really care
No, because
about.
you was looking at her. My eye was twitching
I'm
so
just like,
bad because I
so
just
what happened?
relived it all over again.
Yeah. 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 It was crazy. It was crazy. Which ties into when we were talking about the drowning thing.
Yes.
So I've had a lot of grief over the last 5 to 7 years, right?
Yeah.
And
Back to back.
back to back. And all of my griefs have not been, oh
Small.
my homeboy
Yeah.
got shot. I mean, I've had that too,
Yeah.
right? But that's a different grief,
It
you
is.
know, as opposed to my grandfather, my my stepdad,
Wayne.
right? Um, my aunt, my god sister's son,
Yeah.
my grandmother, my mom's best friend, who they've been best friends since before there was a us. My other cousin was on the podcast a few episodes ago talking about that. All of my deaths. And then I lost a child in the middle of it, right? Um, and so all of my deaths have been like
Right.
literally
Yeah.
like takes the breath out of me.
Mm-hmm.
So I started to grieve one death,
And then another.
and then another one came. Because when we talk about grief, right? Grief never ends.
Yeah.
They say time heals. The time doesn't heal.
Time doesn't heal. Time helps you cope.
Yes.
Makes
You
you
learn to cope better with time.
yeah with the absent.
With the
That's
absence,
it.
right? So the process that's happening right now, right? I was like, I feel like I'm just drowning. Like I'm a great swimmer, but I'm a better swimmer underwater than I am on top of water, right?
Mhm.
But the risk of swimming underwater is you can never come back up,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's almost like I'm swimming, get hit with a death. Boom. All right. We have the service. We, celebrate them in the earthly realm. And then you got to get back to life because bills are still here, responsibilities
Everything.
is here,
Nothing
and bigger,
stops.
your purpose is still here,
Yeah.
right? So you moving, you swimming. And then all of a sudden, it's almost like you trying to get some air, but something's holding on to you,
Mm.
Yeah.
right? Something like literally you can move your arms, but you can't properly swim without moving your arms and wailing your feet at the same time, right? But something has a hold of your legs. And when something has a hold of your legs, you just keep moving,
Trying to reach.
trying to
But you're not
reach.
The
going
weight
nowhere.
is
The
in your
the
legs.
weight is going like you're going nowhere, like Bree said. But then you lift your head up. But imagine something on your neck too,
Mm-hmm. Just weight after weight after weight after
right?
weight.
Something's on your neck. So you got the only thing that you could use is your arms. So you lifting your neck up and you get past your head and you get to your nose, but you can never bring your mouth up. So you can inhale, but you never get a chance to exhale.
Hoocha. I didn't come here to get preached to, but I receive it. Thank you.
Mm.
But like you said, God will make you uncomfortable when it's time for you to move,
Absolutely.
Woo.
right? So y'all just became my safe space because that's a conversation I had with my safe space. And we have these type of conversations all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Just this week, I've been real sensitive, and I think a lot of it is because of what's happening.
And everything.
Yeah.
It's just so many different things, so many different variables that at play. It's just it's just so much happening.
Mhm.
So much happening. And then you're an empath.
Yeah.
So you feel everything. But what I say earlier, feeling with my hands. Just
Yeah. So when I think about my safe spaces, I think about I'm real sensitive now when before I would
just deal with it.
just deal with it.
Because you said crying is a sign of weakness.
Right.
I think all of us may have had that upbringing. In the black household, I
Yes.
was raised by my dad.
Mhm.
So you know.
A black man, and your dad is a man's man.
That is a man's man.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I was talking to him about what was going on earlier. He was just like, stop that cussing. Sir, you right about the wrong stuff. You are right about the wrong things, mister. But
Right.
being a girl raised by a man, you're going through your periods and just
Your
different stuff.
emotions.
Your
Yeah.
emotions.
Mhm.
They dismiss your feelings. They
Mhm.
like that crying. Stop all that crying. I'm gonna give you something to cry for. You gotta whatever. So we grow up and we turn into these emotionless almost beings. You feel
Man.
what I'm saying? Like
Whew.
you're just like, nah, it is what it is, and it makes it difficult for you to ask for help when you're
Mm-hmm.
drowning
When you're drowning. Yeah.
or
Mm-hmm.
when you need help
Mhm.
because
Asking for help is a sign of weakness that you're taught too.
no,
Mm-hmm.
my mama always taught me that if it's meant for you, it'll be given to you. So yeah,
So don't ask.
Mhm. I feel like this generation is changing the culture. I do feel like
absolutely,
some
and I'm
people,
grateful for it.
yeah, some
It's needed.
people,
Yes,
they abuse things, but that's in all
and
It's gonna
avenues,
happen,
right?
right?
That's
absolutely,
going to happen. But as a wide range of this generation, like the culture is changing. The culture about mental health is changing. The
I believe
culture about therapy is changing. The culture about how we treat our children are changing, you
Mm-hmm.
know,
it's kind of
because
weakening them a little bit in a sense, but
yeah,
just a little bit,
yeah,
softening them.
You gotta find the right balance.
yeah.
You definitely gotta find the right balance.
Because you're a mom.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So specifically, what do you do as far as being a mom? Because being a mom is a 24-hour, 7-day a week job. I mean, you just packed the whole lunch for us, right? um,
Okay,
but how do you find your balance, and how do you find your safe space with being a mom?
When I say balance, I mean that's like a word that I say I feel like every single day because I think that in today's generation time and society there are things that we share with our children that our parents didn't share with us, right? And it's
Mm,
because then they felt like that was best.
right.
Maybe they didn't talk about finances, maybe they didn't talk about relationships, maybe there's lots of things that were like very taboo.
Mm-hmm.
At
and
least I
they
can speak
also
for
didn't
me.
know.
I mean that part too. There are things that were like very taboo to discuss.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I think that there was this very rigid like parent child. That's it. Like you
Yeah.
don't question
Mm-hmm.
anything.
Because I
There's
said
this
so.
respect that you had. Yeah, there's this
Yeah.
respect that you that. Well, at least as a child, we thought that it was respect, but as an adult now, you can see that there was actually a little bit of fear that was there
Shoo.
to not question because you didn't want the consequences of questioning your parents, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because I'm a parent now, I can see where, okay, there are moments where, like, well, I may say for you to do something and there's not time for you to ask me a question because your
Mm-hmm.
safety may be at risk, right? If I
Mm-hmm.
say, get up, go in the house now, maybe there's something that I saw that you don't
You
know
didn't
about
see.
that I
Mm-hmm.
need you to go now. And I don't need you to say, well, can I grab my toy or mommy, why, or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that
Right.
it has its place. But also, when you're trying to, raise a mentally and emotionally well rounded and healthy child,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to ask questions.
Yeah.
And you want to be their safe space. So if that child is curious and they're wondering about things, or they want to know how stuff works, or why this affected that, and they're coming to you to ask questions, the last thing you want them to do is be like, 'cause I
Find
said so.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
and
You want to give them
yes,
answers.
yes, and you don't want them to find out from somewhere that don't have your
Phew.
don't have their best interest at heart.
Mm-hmm.
Like you want to be able to ask your parent, okay, well, how does this? You don't want them to find out on the internet or find out from
Mm.
At the
somebody who has.
playground.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because baby, they're gonna ask.
They
If you
gonna
don't,
ask.
if
Yeah.
they ask you and you don't answer,
They're gonna
that's
ask
just
again.
teaching them that they can't come back to you again with
Yep.
more questions.
Mm.
They're going to ask someone else, and you may not like the someone else that they're asking. You may not like that person's answers.
Yeah.
Or that person.
Yeah. Listen. Listen. I truly value you too. Oh,
And
I'm
I value her too,
yeah,
okay? Because
listen.
she a vibe. Thank you.
Yeah. Uh I do want to throw this out. Bree also handles our social media from time to time.
Period.
Uh Bree, I I admire you because I've seen the growth. I've seen the maturity. I've
Mm.
seen the and we don't have to tell stories because that's not what this is for, but I've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
I've been a part of it.
Very
um
much.
Bree can't get the mic and be like, I remember when, because
Better cut it off.
she cut,
Now spill it all.
Look,
she can't get the mic.
now,
She can't get the mic, okay?
as soon as you see Shakira walking up, just
Shut it down.
Shut it. But something that I always was called, I now have. And I was always called the gravekeeper. All my friends. Or I could
keep
tell
all the
her,
secrets.
yeah,
Bet.
yeah.
Yep.
Like
This is yeah.
that thing going to the grave with her. That thing going to the grave. If I tell her, that thing going to the grave. If the police come, she gonna be like, I don't even know that person. Well,
Nothing
your
to say.
well your well your cell phone, that ain't even my cell phone.
That's very true about you.
Okay.
I'm gonna be like, I'm not at liberty to discuss that.
I plead the fifth. Where's my lawyer?
Hands down.
You're not the one in trouble. Where's my lawyer?
Now, call them.
So I am grateful and blessed to now have that
Yes.
because for a while everything was inside and I was like a volcano ready to erupt. And then when I erupt, I destroy everything, good, bad
Not go there.
in it. So I'm blessed to have that. Devonette, I've seen your growth, your maturity, your strength, but also your weakness, and I'm grateful that you allow me
Okay.
to see that because we also as black women grow up with this. You gotta be strong. You gotta be this. You gotta
We got the weight
of
of
the
the
world,
world on our shoulders.
and then we birth the world.
Oh, talk to. Hello.
How much more do you want from me?
I mean,
I take me off.
come
the
on.
strongest, Take me off the strongest warriors list.
Listen, I called him. He said that I wasn't.
But I
And-
feel like it. These
and-
weapons is formed against me right now, bro.
They
I
not
feel
gonna
it, they
prosper.
swinging.
They not gonna prosper, but they
They
forming.
form.
They form,
'em.
but they ain't gonna prosper.
I
Okay.
see 'em, they-
So I thank you two for coming on because we were a little vulnerable, but we gonna keep it base level because it ain't for everybody to know.
It's not. But
Okay.
I wanted to. You already know I gotta plug in the family.
Mhm.
So not only are you my safe space, I have a whole. Now I can say I have a tribe.
Mm.
It's a blessing.
It is.
Yes.
And it's literally called a tribe called Dragon. It's
That's dragons.
you better know it. These women have come into my life when I didn't even know that this was something that I needed.
Woo! And that's when it's the best.
Okay? Every single dragon in my tribe has been, I can't even put it into words,
Mm.
that they hold me accountable. We hold each other accountable.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I don't want to hear it, I'm not listening, but I'm listening. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? It's refreshing because, and they make me ask for help. You know, they force it out of me. So I'm grateful for all things safe spaces
Mm-hmm.
because we, of course, we it takes a village to raise a child, but I like to think I am still a child.
I'm a child of
We
God.
still need our village.
Listen, I need my village baby because it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
Life is it, it's a constant.
And we the new adults.
Uh,
Ain't that
I
crazy?
didn't sign up for that.
Ghetto.
Hello, I didn't sign up for this.
Ghetto. The most ghetto hood I've ever been in.
I called my father and I had asked him, could I move back in? Because I'm
Oh
tired
my
of
god,
being
I
with
just
her.
did that too. And so did my friend.
He
Oh
hung
my
up
gosh.
on me
I mean, so did mine.
immediately.
You thought I was joking. I was very
I
serious.
was serious, okay?
Mm.
We can split the bills.
I ain't say all that. Soft mic
No,
me,
because we
please.
was trying.
so, so I'm like you.
I, I mean, I see. I'm not all that soft. Don't let these sparkly tights fool you. I'm not all that soft, so I don't.
I am.
I see. I can,
Yeah.
you know what?
I'm sorry.
God, I see what you do for others.
I'm soft for the right person around the right person. Oh, you gonna sip? You gonna sip?
All I'm saying is I'm not as soft as I appear. I mean, I'm soft to touch. That's it. That's all I got for you. It's the thuggish raggish bone. Oh no,
It's hard to come back from that though. If you were raised that way, or if that's all you saw,
it is.
and if that's what you're used to, and if that's what everybody in your community was, or maybe even still is, it's hard to come out of that and be like, no, I do need people. I do
Mhm.
need a village. I do need help. I do need
Mhm.
support. It's okay to cry. I do need a therapist. I do need a
Oh
journal. I
no,
do need
baby, I
to,
cry all the time.
it's like, baby, now, listen, that's a great thing.
No,
I probably cry like four
I've
times this
always
week.
no, I've always been a crier.
Really?
Yes,
I used to be really jealous of people that could cry.
movies, animals, babies.
Mm.
I'm crying
Mm.
now, but this new cry is that anger cry. That is scary.
Tell me more about that.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm very passionate about stuff, and
Mm.
when I say it, I mean it. Right? If I tell you something, please don't ask me the same question I just asked you 5 times. Because if I got to say it twice, now it's going to get a little spicy.
Okay.
Hmm.
It's going to get spicier every other time I have to
You
tell
want somebody to hear you once the first time. You don't want to repeat yourself.
Mm.
She
Because
like
now
you
I'm
doing
going
the
to go
thing.
from
Yeah.
Jack, I'm going to go from 8:30 to 4:30 voice. Now is, look, check this out, right? And, so in my line of work, what I get paid to do is debate, debate back and forth, and I'll give you the shirt off my back. I'll do everything I can to
Mhm.
help you. But when you then try to tell me that I'm something that I'm not, it's triggering. So I get to shaking, rocking back and forth. It starts as a laugh first, hysterical laughter.
Mm.
Then the knees start to roll,
Mm.
and then the tears roll.
Yeah.
And then after that, well,
Yeah.
Whatever happens,
So
happens.
it's crazy because Bree is more of a she's soft but she's tough.
period.
Like she, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like she's soft but tough. Me, on the other hand, I'm soft, but I lack balance, which I'm trying to have
No
now.
in between.
It's no in between.
Yep.
It was and we gonna end on this, right? It was something that I posted on IG, and it was a video of a guy, and he was like, "Y'all think that the person who's nice and and kind-hearted, that they don't have that other side is just as
They're
extreme,
gentle this way
yeah,
because
of the
that other
hell that
side
they
that they
they yes." And I was like, the hell that I survived
there you
makes
go.
me gentle,
That that's
right?
what that.
Because I've experienced a lot in life in my 34 years.
Come on, 34.
Okay, just turned 34. In this case, still Capricorn season.
All
Okay,
right.
uh, so um, it's like my gentleness comes from me experiencing hell and going through hell and being able to reshuffle the cards of hell.
Seeing the light and the rainbow at the end of your tunnel.
What? It's it's almost like, don't play with me, cause you really
Period.
gonna play yourself. And you see how calm that was, but really in the calmness is a lot of storm. It's a lot of wrath. I'ma beat a volcano and I'ma destroy everything.
Period. Come on, lava.
Don't mess with her. That's the
Just
line.
that's all I'm saying. Just please, just let her do her big podcast. You know how they say the little podcast, your little this, or the big
The
podcast,
big podcast.
The
the
big
big one,
podcast.
not the little one.
Listen, Bree had her birthday, and we about to wrap this up, right? Bree had her birthday party, and the way she set it up was so cute. It was like messages on each.
Oh yeah, I know what you
Um,
was talking about.
yeah,
Okay.
right, because it's a lot of birthdays,
I was
right?
like, which one? How far back we going?
So her recent birthday, she had the hibachi person come out in her backyard, and it was nice and set up. It was a Hawaiian theme. I look real nice there too,
Oh, you
right?
did
did.
them pictures. You sent me those. Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. Period.
So, um, it was a message for each person at the table, right? And I still have my message in my chopsticks,
Aw.
right? And the message for me was congratulations on starting your podcast. And that came at a time where I was like, I'm investing so much money and energy into this, and I'm working my ass off to make sure that my dream comes into fruition. And not just my dream. This podcast is about impact. So every time that I'm behind the mic and that I have guests, my prayer is that it impacts at least one life,
Mhm.
right? So with that being said, it was so big to me because it was like my friend who I talked about for years, who we talked about even the name that I was gonna go by, now is seeing this. But not only did she see it, but she acknowledged it. And it's people who are close to me
Mm.
that won't even acknowledge
Wow.
Hello.
it. So it's like, thank you. Thank you. Because it's a process. And I'm appreciative of that. So yeah, I guess I want to end this episode telling people it is okay to have a safe space.
It's necessary.
It's necessary. No man is an island,
Mm-mm.
and your safe space might look different from my safe spaces,
Yep.
but I'm grateful for my safe spaces. And to add to it, I have more safe spaces that I've known for less time
Mm-hmm.
because my boss is a safe space.
Period.
You've met her, And y'all both said the same thing to me today. Like, I think the other day you said that. Today you said it. She's good people.
She is good people. It's not even about having a conversation. We didn't have an extensive conversation or anything.
Mm.
I'm big on energy.
Mm-hmm.
You can feel it.
Okay, there we go. Period. That's it.
That's it.
That's
Get
all
you
I
a
got.
safe space, y'all.
Get you a safe space. Because adults need safe spaces too.
Yes.
And with that, we're out.
Bye.